Hi, Justin Metcha here, doing something epic every day with Keller Williams in Northwest Montana. And I have an answer to a question that was asked recently at a home buyers seminar class that I was hosting just last week, in fact. The question read, "Dear Justin, I'm a resident of Northwest Montana and have been for several years. Even before the bubble," which I'm assuming she is referring to the bubble of right around 2008, late 2008 for us, I was looking at purchasing a home. I'm wondering, what is the market like today compared to pre-bubble? Okay, so let me qualify and clarify just a little bit here. Again, the bubble she is referring to is most likely the real estate bubble that the entire nation felt right around late 2008. In Montana, we have a tendency to see things a little later, and that's a good and mostly a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. I'll give you an example. When gas prices go up nationally, Montana feels that a few weeks late, okay? So while the rest of the nation is paying more, we're paying less. However, we will eventually catch up, and then when gas prices drop again, well, we're still paying up here. So it's a good and a bad thing. So to answer this person's question, I decided to, shake up my flux capacitor, little Back to the Future reference for you, travel back in time 10 years and look at everything real estate related from 2003 to 2013. So I'm gonna put a graph up here really quick and let me show you where we were in 2003. Okay, see the figures up here? In 2003, we had, according to our Northwest Montana Multiple Listing Services data, we had 728 houses sell, okay, or 728 real estate transactions. Okay, now the average sales price, when you compound all of those, the average sales price for Northwest Montana was $166,202. Now, interestingly, this was below the average sales price on a national level. The average sales price was right around $189,534. The housing value, or the average sales price of our housing, was below the national average. However, we had a very strong 728 residential units move that year. The very following year, we saw an increase. In 2004, we had 785, and as you can see on the graph, it's starting to climb there. Granted, national averages were going up as well. So if you continue to follow that graph, it looks like it's right around 2007 where things hit their highest. In Montana, in Northwest Montana, 2006, we saw 839 units move. So if you follow that graph, we have an escalating trend from 2003 to 2007. And this is probably true for most of the country. Again, some of the areas probably felt that bubble burst later. Some of them felt that bubble burst sooner. For us, it looked like it was right around middle of 2008 where things kind of took a nosedive, because we entered 2008 very strong. 2007 was also the first year where our average sales price was actually higher than that of national sales price averages. Okay, so that shows that we had a very strong residential real estate transaction thing going on, right? There was a lot going on there for people. However, what did happen later that year was we saw, probably because of the inflation of housing prices, is a decrease in the amount of units that had sold. And then, of course, that trend continued for the next couple of years. Look at 2008, we're down to 506. 2009, down to our bottom, our floor of 453. Okay, now let me stop there for a second. That means at the worst of the bubble, at the most painful period of the bubble, we still saw 453 houses move that year, okay? And then we also saw, that's more than one a day. It's like I tell people all the time, look, nobody has a crystal ball in the market. I can't project the future. I can look back, okay? And by looking back, I can assess an opinion of what the future may hold. But even in our worst, even in our darkest day, we were looking at more than one house per day selling, meaning more than one person every day selling and buying every day. Now, for a relatively small town like Kalispell, Montana, that's pretty strong. In fact, these figures are Kalispell specific. This isn't even Northwest Montana as a whole. Whitefish, Big Fork, Summers, Lakeside, I'm sorry, you guys aren't included in this video. I'll talk to you later, okay? But this is Kalispell specific. This is pretty strong. Even in our darkest of days, we saw real estate moving every day. And that's what I tell people. The market moves every day. My job is to interpret it every day for my buyers. So notice how 2010, the amount of units selling went up to 509. 2011, actually, we saw it taper off just a little bit. Relatively the same exact thing, 501. However, 2012, good increase, okay? So that's why even people who aren't real estate agents, even people who aren't involved in the realty community, even people who haven't bought or sold in a few years are noticing this trend. Perhaps they see more agents' signs across the streets. Perhaps they have friends who have been able to successfully list and sell a house in 2 weeks. It happens. Okay, so it's everybody's kind of getting this impression. Wait a minute, is it returning? Now here's the answer to that question. Let's go back to the chart. Okay, notice how 2012, the whole thing is spanned out here, left to right on your screen. 2012, we're at 623 units moved. In 2003, 738. So you can see we're not quite where we are at 2003. However, these are the numbers I'm going to report to you today. It's November 20th, 2013. As of today, we're at 674. Okay, so we're looking really strong for 2013. In fact, let's go to the average sales prices really quick. See this chart here? On the average sales price of 2012, we saw a figure of $183,410. But then go back to 2003, we were looking at $166,202 there. So we're actually stronger on our average sales price sales this year than we are 9 or 10 years ago. However, 2013 so far, that figure is over 220,000. So you can see we've had some strong growth from 2011 to where we are sitting in 2013. To answer the question, are we where we were pre-bubble? The short answer is no. However, we're in a really great spot. And what I mean by short answer, no, we're not seeing average values of over $250,000. We're not seeing, almost 900 real estate transactions a year for the city of Kalispell. However, we're looking really good. Is it a great time to buy? Yes, because we're on a good rise. We have good projected rise in housing values. And of course, it's Montana. Who doesn't want to own a piece of Montana? The reason why I like discussing this stuff and the reason why I want to bring all of this back to this important question is, first of all of the investments that you can make, you can buy gold, you can invest into CDs, I guess, if you want to enjoy a sub 1% return on your money. There's all kinds of investment opportunities out there. Real estate, in my opinion, is the only one where it actually provides a sense of stability, security, and community for you and your family. I don't know of any other investment opportunity where you can actually live in and enjoy and have wonderful recreational opportunities with than real estate. You see, so I'm going to come back to that, and that's what's epic about it, and that's why I do what I do.